Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome on into a new week here on Winning Bets. Appreciate you guys starting a week and starting off your morning with me. We get to enjoy our sports betting for the next hour and a half or so. And then, we got the Payoff pitch live at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, the top of the hour, myself and the Hockey Squirrel previewing today's MLB slate. It's Monday morning. We're obviously coming off a weekend. Hope you guys were able to have a fantastic time with your friends and family over the weekend. Summertime, I know you guys were outside enjoying it. That's exactly what we were doing. We went to a pool party on Saturday. Lots of fun. Love going to other people's houses that have the pools, have all the fun, then you get to leave and get up on out of there. Had ourselves a great time, and I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend as well. Let's make sure we, of course, recap every Monday like we do. Let's see what happened last week. Let's see if we get to go ahead and ring the cash register. And then again, we'll talk some NFL stuff on today's show. Then we will also, of course, be talking MLB previewing that slate. So throwing up the recap from last week, we get to ring the cash register. Slow week in terms of volume of plays, obviously with the MLB on their All-Star break. That brought down the number of plays, but we went 9-8 and plus 0.05 units. Big haul last week, super big haul, going 9-8 and plus 0.05 units. Now on the year, lots of wins, lots of losses. How about 7.5 units to the good on the year? Getting back. It's gonna, it'll take a little while to have respectable numbers given the length of time we're into 2023, but we're going to get there fully confident in that. Arbitrage year to date, we talked about how that kind of slowed off for me personally, being limited on the several sports books. We got a big boost last week, though, in arbitrage money, courtesy of FanDuel, with the home run derby boost and with the All-Star game boost, able to put in $30 in your pocket with each of those. So love to see that, and that gets us up over $760. Now, arbitrage year to date, that's free money, folks. That's betting both sides of a wager to guarantee yourself of a profit over $760 this year doing that. What were some of those wins from last week? How about Vondarosov in the women's final there on Wimbledon, getting it done, left-hander, unseeded left-hander, able to lift the trophy. Love that right there. We took her on the game spread, plus 3.5 games. She wins the money line, gets the trophy. Cash is our bet, obviously, in the process. So love that right there. Talked about how the volume of bets was down last week. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday, we dabbled in the Wimbledon. Went 2-0 each of those days. So love that. Was making parlays, and if you bet tennis, you just know it's tough. The money lines are always really juicy in tennis play, so you got to do parlays. We kept in the two-leg parlays, so hit 2-0 on Tuesday, 2-0 on Wednesday. Love to see that right there. What about the Red Sox on the money line Friday night, taking on the Cubs, minus 120. They get it done nice and easily as they are able to secure the victory. Braves on the run line, they also get it done on Friday night, getting very easy win with Charlie Morton on the bump right there up against, the White Sox? Yeah, up against the White Sox. That was the Michael Kopech one. Still did not understand that. Braves cruise to a nice, easy victory. And what about Lorenzen on Saturday, as well? Over 15.5 outs. Have you seen what Lorenzen has been able to do this season? Have you seen the guy pitch in the All-Star game on Tuesday? And that line was over 15.5 outs. What, for this vaunted Mariners offense? How many times have we taken a Mariners team total this year? A Mariners F5 team total? Not very often. Not just struggling offense. Lorenzen easily goes over 15.5 outs. Tigers win the game 6-0. Love to see that right there. Tough losses, though, last week. As always, you're always going to have some tough, painful losses. Slovidovina was unable to win a set. That was a tennis parlay we had with Sabalenka. Just needed both of them to win a set. And then Svitolina, I guess, was just emotionally drained maybe and physically worn out after knocking off the number one seed there in Schwagertek, and just didn't have anything left in the tank is what I got out of watching that match. Just completely worn out was she. Unable to win a set. Yankees on the run line. Let's talk about this team for a little bit. Everybody was asking us last week, are they going to trade for Ohtani? This team's done. They ain't trading for shit. You ain't selling everything you got in the minor leagues to go get you a player to still not make the playoffs. So the Yankees are done. Yankees suck. Yankees only get 2 runs in Colorado and can't do anything for the last 8 innings of that game, as the 2 runs came in the first inning off a Giancarlo Stanton home run. They can't get anything for the rest of the game in Colorado. That team absolutely sucks. And they're going to lose yesterday with Garrett Cole on the mound. Yeah, they're absolutely done right there. Braves on the run line with Strider taking on Lance Lynn on Saturday. They can't get it done. Hell, those runs galore in that game. I think it finished 6-5. The over hit, but the Braves unfortunately lose the game and obviously can't cover a run line in that process. And then Friday, Burns, under 6.5 Ks. Yeah, how about I just drop 12 on the 12 Ks. Yeah, he was on it right there. And then Stripling under 3.5 Ks. I think he got around 4 or 5 or so. So just missed both of those. But profitable on the week. That's what we're talking about. Profitable on the week. It may not have been a whole hell of a lot, but it's profitable on the week. We've sat here sometimes and we've lost 0.1 units or lost 0.05 units. Boom. Now we get a little bit of a winning week. Let's hear it again. See that right there. All right, let's hop in the comment section, and then let's talk a little bit of NFL as well. Ross, morning, man. Hope you're doing well. Morning. Hell yeah, we ringing that sucker. I don't care what the number is. If it's a plus, we ring in the register, and that's what we earned a rate. This shit's tough. This shit's tough. Trying to predict this shit the best we can with the information at hand, it's tough. So yeah, ringing it, ringing it. Hey, let me let you guys know what's coming down the pipe here. Probably, I would say, within the next maybe 2 weeks. I'm going to have one video where I'm going to give you guys my favorite NFL future player props. I've personally already bet all 5. I got it done over the last couple of days. I've been doing the research over maybe the last couple of weeks and finally got to a point really over this weekend. I think maybe is when I locked them in. I felt comfortable enough to lock in these 5 NFL player props. I'm going to work on putting that video together here relatively soon so we can get those out to you guys. And of course, you guys can tail them if you want. If you're new, or depends on how long you've been hanging around winning bets. Futures don't count on daily, weekly recaps because, you're tying up capital for so long. I put them out there. I do have my money behind them, but whether we win or make money, we don't subtract those from our units win or loss. I've never added future bets. I kind of think that those kind of like little entertainment, extra little fun things, which if you hung around here, we turned a profit. Remember last time we did 5 NFL futures. We hit 3 of the 5 and turned a profit. So, that was an opportunity for, people to, leave that right there. Anyways, that's how we're going to roll right there. And then I'm going to drop another video probably a week after that where I'm going to predict all the division winners. I know who's winning every single division this year in the NFL. I'll tell you in a couple weeks there in a video. And of course, I'm going to bet them all as well. I've bet all 8. See how many we can get right. And of course, did the little parlay sprinkle, right? If you can hit all 8, you got to have the parlay sprinkle in there. All right, so those will be 2 videos that'll be coming down the pipe. NFL futures, my 5 favorite NFL player futures, and of course my 8 division winners sprinkled there in a little bit of a parlay. Also confirmed with Matt over the weekend that we're going to be running back between the posts next year, so that'll be our 3rd straight season talking Premier League each and every single week with you guys. So look forward to that. And of course, we'll do a season preview as we did last year, where mainly we focus on the transfer market, the teams, the comings and goings of the team, kind of get you up to date on what the squads look like going into the season. And then of course, we'll do our normal prediction of top 4, winner, European places, and relegation as well. So that one will come out the first week of August. Premier League is under a month away. These soccer players do not get a break, or at least the good ones that play international. They just don't get a break. It's unfair to them, but fine with me being a fan of the game. But boy, really just quite unfair to them. So yeah, under a month, and we're already getting Premier League football back. Cannot wait to see that right there. All right, that was mainly it, guys. Just mainly getting you guys up to speed on what I've got coming down the pipe from an NFL perspective. I'm already getting super jazzed from the NFL. How about the Titans securing DeAndre Hopkins yesterday or Saturday over the weekend? Getting DeAndre Hopkins, that's a nice size move for them. Now you've got a legit, they had A.J. Brown. DeAndre Hopkins is a little bit of a step up above A.J. Brown. So they got a bona fide wide receiver. Obviously, you got Derrick Henry. No excuses this year. No excuses from the Tennessee Titans. And yes, I've got the Titans winning the division. I had the Titans winning the division before they had DeAndre Hopkins. I knew everybody else was going to be on the Jaguars. They barely were able to take the Titans last year. They were decimated with injuries. The Titans always have a great defense, like the Titans, and now they've added DeAndre Hopkins. So that future just got a little bit better. Should have stayed to just a couple tennis plays like you did. Should have stayed to just a couple tennis plays like you did. Yeah. I'm not sure. Now I read the second comment. You're saying you should have just tennis. That's where they get you, because you've got to make these parlays so goddamn big, because everything's so effing juicy in tennis, and then that's where it gets you. We've kind of talked about parlays, right? Trying to predict one event to happen correctly, right? Whether it's an over and under or a money line. Trying to predict one thing to happen is pretty damn tough. Now you want to parlay a lot of that, but that's unfortunately what you have to do in tennis. I was proud that we were able to do 2-legged parlays and be really successful. You're going to get back on it, Nebraska. Don't worry. You'll be back on it, man. Can we get one teaser from the NFL player prop? Sure. I'll pull up my favorite one. Pull up my list here. I'll do my favorite one of the 5. I'll get you one. Let's see. Let me go and run through the list. I didn't rank them by confidence or anything, but let me do that now. I'm gonna go with Tony Pollard over 7.5 touchdowns. Some books already have it at 8.5. DraftKings is at 8.5. You can get 7.5 at Caesars. You can also get 7.5 at Barstools. Barstools is the best price at even money over 7.5 touchdowns for Tony Pollard. That is one of the 4 NFL futures. Love everything about it. He's obviously not signed, but whether he's just got the big mega deal or maybe he's going to play on the franchise tag, there should be a lot of good motivation there. Obviously, he's going to be RB1 for the Cowboys now, right? They didn't sign Zeke Elliott. And as a backup, he got 9 touchdowns last season, and Zeke Elliott even got 12 touchdowns. So it's a run-heavy team, even though they've got Dak Prescott, and I guess perception is that they're a pass-heavy team. In 2022, they had 28 passing touchdowns and 24 rushing touchdowns. This is still very much still a rushing team. I mean, obviously a great offensive line they've had for several seasons in a row. Now Tony Pollard becomes RB1. He can hit touchdowns from any player on the field. With that speed and that explosiveness, he can score them from anywhere. Love it. Again, it cashed last year with 9 touchdowns. He should just see more touches, more opportunities. Love everything about it. So that's one of my 5, and I'll say it's my favorite. Tony Pollard over 7.5 touchdowns, even money over on Barstools. Lock it in. Let's get it. Lock it in, boys. All right, sweet. Nebraska, lock it in. I think you're going to like I did one homer, right? You got to have one homer NFL future. I mean, when I, of course, make the video and I'll roll out all the stats, it's justified, but you got to have one Buffalo Bill up in there or whatever you're a team of. You got to have one of your guys in there. I got one of my guys in there. He's one of the 5. I'm pulling the list back up again. Hold on a second. I just want to go through. I've got a rushing touchdown prop, Tony Pollard. I've got an over on a receiving yards. I got an under on a quarterback passing. I've got over on a receiving touchdown. And then I've got a defensive player going over on interceptions. Got a defensive player going over on interceptions. I'm excited to give you those. I'm excited to put that content together. I'm excited to talk NFL. It's here. I know most of you guys are probably, I don't want to say more excited for me, but I am a big soccer guy. So I kind of get the return of soccer and football kind of like all at the same time. But I mean, NFL is still cake, and Buffalo Bills are still my favorite team amongst all my favorite teams. So, yeah, I'm just excited. What's up, Ross? You got a new boss at work and scheduled daily meetings at the exact same time. What the hell? Did he not get the memo? Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Good luck with the new boss. Hopefully he's going to be cool to you and treat you kindly and doesn't give you too much shit. Can keep the workload off of you a little bit. And make sure you schedule a meeting with him and let him know that his are not at a good time. You can't be having that there. Can't be having it. Appreciate it, Ross. Let's get it, man. All right. We got about 6 minutes. Let's go find ourselves a squirrel. Let's go look out there. Where's that squirrel out there? Let's go find him, fellas. I'll be right on back. Lock it in. Tony Pollard over 7.5 rushing touchdowns. Yeah. I put by the way, my futures, I don't put a unit on it. I just put $100 on them. So if you're wondering like what I did, no, I'm not gonna tell you how much a percentage of a unit that is, because then people would know what I bet for a unit. I've never told that, but I put $100 on each future. If you're curious, $100 on each future is how I roll. All right, I'll be back. Welcome on in today's episode of the Payoff Pitch. We're live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Time talking today's MLB slate. He's the Hockey Squirrel. I'm Jason. Happy Monday morning to you, Squirrel. What's going on, man?
Hey, not too much. I think it's a little bit of a lighter day. I filled out enough to talk about some things on the show, but yeah, certainly not, an overwhelmingly busy day. I don't see. I don't see it being that anyway. Got some dogs though. Got one total. Well, two really. Maybe one over, one under. Couple underdogs. Maybe small favorites. So yeah, it's not like a super insane day though.
Oh, it's going to be a good day, though. A little slate there on the MLB. You've already tweeted a couple plays on Twitter. Like where your mindset's out right there.
Yeah.
A couple of those plays, so liking it.
Cool. Yeah, I got TikTok done and the Twitter and the Facebook. And I struggle to be consistent with it, or I have struggled to be consistent with that. And that's got to change, especially heading into the fall here. Not to say that I'm like done with baseball. I just want more volume, I think. Like I'm looking forward to getting a crack at, having the NBA props back, having college basketball back. That's where I made a killing last fall was college basketball. My God, I was ripping 35 units a month.
You were killing
So yeah, I'm excited to get back to that and have maybe 4 or 5 different sports and football and it's kind of the
we're like
they call it the dog
days away from college football, I want to say. I know we're under a month from the Premier League returning. Lots of exciting stuff, including today's MLB slate, and look forward to breaking it down with you. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We call it Around the Bases, where we take a couple games and break them down. Let's see how the Squirrel wants to kick off today's show.
Yeah, well, I will kick it off by saying we do have an debut, it looks like, for the Pirates. And I wrote down, who is Quinn Priester?
Sure, we'll go with it.
Quinn Priester, I believe. Looks like an MLB debut, and I just kind of briefly scanned the minor league stats of him, and it looks okay. I don't see that he's a strikeout machine by any means. It just looks okay. I think it was like a 1.3 whip, and I guess I don't really know too much about him, so I don't know. Pirates are certainly bottom of the barrel in the last month for offensive stats. Their strikeout rates are through the roof. So unless that is going to be really the turning point for him, is having some kid come up from the minors, I don't really see him winning the game. But baseball, you never know. But it's certainly nothing. I didn't put my money on it or anything. But I didn't know if you had anything that you wanted to contribute to that. But I don't know if I'd go backing the Pirates necessarily today. I certainly haven't.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. We'll see what the Guardians like to do. They're going to throw a bullpen guy, at least in the opener. And you look at their roster, it's not like they have like a Sean Manaea, a guy that you can easily predict maybe who's going to, come out of that bullpen next. But we generally always like the Guardians bullpen. So that should certainly tip the game, I think, in their favor. You're right. The Pirates are throwing the new kid out there, Quinn. I don't know, 4.31 ERA, 1.36 whip. But as you said, nothing too overpowering. I'm going to talk about this game a little bit later, though. I don't want to fully give it away which inning, because then that gives away what the pick is. But I do like this game. I think there is maybe a spot for this game a little bit later. I want to talk about the Dodgers and the Orioles, because this is a game where you look at the starters and there's a name popping back up in Grayson Rodriguez that we haven't handicapped in a while. Remember, he was in the majors earlier this season. This is the Orioles' top pitching prospect. Just got absolutely destroyed earlier on this season, so they sent him back in the minor leagues. He's apparently gotten better. We saw that same scenario just a couple of weeks ago with Alek Manoah. Remember? Struggled, went down to the minors. They said he got better and came back up and had an outstanding outing there against the Detroit Tigers. The difference is Detroit Tigers suck at hitting right-handed pitching. That was easy to predict if you believe the Blue Jays weren't blowing smoke up your ass that he did improve, because I was on the Blue Jays that day. Remember, I was trying to get people off the Tigers. I wouldn't try and get people off of the Dodgers, though, in this one, being scared of Grayson Rodriguez, because they hit right-handers really well. This guy struggled. Good. He went down to the minor leagues and did better. You should do better against minor league talent. How about coming back up to the bigs and coming back up against this Dodgers team? It's murderer's row. Then you factor in what the Orioles do against right-handers. They're a top 5 team versus right-handed pitching. They're going to see Emmett Sheehan, which if you look at his game log, it's just gotten worse. First debut, outstanding, shutout ball. Then gave up 2 runs, then gave up 3 runs, then gave up 4. It's getting worse as the tape is out on Sheehan. We know what his repertoire is. Give me that against a top 5 team in the Orioles versus right-handers. Both teams hit left-handers good, so when we see a different arm out of the bullpen, shouldn't be too worried. And these bullpens for the Orioles really struggle. Dodgers is about league average, but really struggles for the Orioles. I see over 9.5 runs. Just too good of an offense on both sides with the Orioles and Dodgers struggling pitchers. I'm on over 9.5 here.
Yeah, I certainly think a lot of people are buying into that Orioles line, or maybe that narrative of Grayson Rodriguez. I've seen a lot of kind of fluctuation and a little bit of a buyback on the Orioles right now. I'm not on it yet, but we'll see as the day goes on.
Okay, so
it's a little bit frustrating to me, man. I feel like
line?
My camera's all blurry. I think I look like shit. The camera doesn't look good. Yeah, I mean, just from what I'm seeing in the market, if you want to believe that it's an efficient market and that if you're looking at line movement, I guess from that standpoint, Orioles would be the pick. But again, like when we get to pitching props, as you mentioned, Emmett Sheehan and everything, I think he's still capable of striking them out. And I don't know. I kind of like to look at it from the angles of if everything's lining up, like you want to take 2 pitchers to get a lot of strikeouts if you're looking at an under, right? You don't want to necessarily take a money line and then be like, oh, my team's going to strike out 9 times against the starting pitcher. It's kind of difficult that way. So, yeah, moving on then. Here's one that we can take a look at is the Tigers and the Royals. You have Jordan Lyles today, basically good for about 4 to 6 runs per start. And that's what it's been for the last month or two. The other side of things, remind me who the pitcher is. I think he's decent. Matt Manning. However, he's had a fairly limited amount of innings. I think he's only pitched like 22. God, I got like some kind of tickle in my throat. It sucks. Yeah, so fairly limited exposure for Matt Manning, however. Even though the numbers look respectable, it's only been like 20 innings. But, I mean, Kansas City at least has been, at least as far as I saw in the last day or two, was putting up some runs. I think they had a pretty hardcore blowout game there against the Rays, was it yesterday? So I would expect runs on both sides of the ball and some pretty awful pitching, especially on the sides of the Royals. Over 9.5 looks like a pretty good play to me for an over.
Over 9.5, okay. I didn't know if you were going to give out a money line or maybe an over or an under. You went the over 9.5. I mean, it's Jordan Lyles, right?
Yeah.
There's not going to be too much dispute in that pick right there. You said you got a little thing in your throat. I could have led off this show warning people or telling people, I feel really nauseous. Man, I drank too much tequila last night. Today's bets are brought to you by Tequila Hangover. That's how today. I feel like shit. I do not feel good over here. I feel like at any moment I can just hurl in this trash can next to me.
14 and a half months now for me, man. I'm still going. So
my man. Let's go to St. Louis and talk about this Marlins game. They're going to go ahead and take on the Cardinals. I like both of these teams from an offensive standpoint, and they're hitting righties and lefties. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and get a righty and a lefty of this matchup. But whatever comes out of the bullpen, it don't matter. Both of these teams are just really stinking good, and the Cardinals have really turned it up. Finally, you can have confidence taking an over in a Cardinals game or maybe even taking a Cardinals money line because they are just absolutely surging, but they're still struggling out of that bullpen. That bullpen is absolutely struggling. Like the Marlins bullpen grades out a little bit better, too. A struggling bullpen, about a league average bullpen of the Marlins. I'm going to take the offense. We just saw Luzardo go up against the Cardinals not too long ago. It was 2 starts ago. Tipped the cap. He had a nice little outing. But it's going to be hard for him to replicate that. And then the Cardinals' numbers are better offensively versus righties and lefties. than what they were a couple starts ago when they saw Jesus Luzardo. So offense is better. Same story there with Mike Cullis. He went up against the Marlins not too long ago. Actually gave up 4 or so runs. He's going to do the same thing because this Marlins offense has just stayed towards the top of the league. So give me 2 hot offenses. Give me 2 hot offenses against struggling bullpens. I'm going to take the over 8.5 in this one. I want the over 8.5 in the Marlins and the Cardinals. All right, we've talked long enough. Let's shut up and give these guys some pitching props. We'll do that and shut up and pitch.
I went with Emmett Sheehan over 4.5 Ks plus 125. If you really feel like you need to pay the juice and you need 3.5, it's available out there at minus 150 or minus 155. I don't feel that way. I took the plus 125. I think I had him for, I think I had him at 5.5, and I was getting plus money on it. I think that was it. Yeah, roughly about 5.5 strikeouts, and getting over 4.5 with plus money. So yes, that was a very good projection there, going against the Orioles, and I don't think that they were, 21.5% strikeout is what I'm seeing. I think if that's correct, it is correct. Right. So you were saying that Emmett Sheehan has declined in what? In everything, or because I still believe that he will and can get strikeouts. It's just I don't know if he's going to absolutely get murdered for the day.
I mean, to your point, though, even his last outing when he only lasted 3.2 innings against the Pirates and gave up 4 runs, he was able to get 4 strikeouts. So he's getting 1 per inning average. So
right.
Other outings was 5, 4, 3 is what he's gotten in his 4 total starts in the MLB. You said it was over 4.5?
Over 4.5 at plus 125, yeah. And if you wanted to buy the 3.5, I mean, you're spending minus 150. You could do it. Certainly is still a, I don't know, like a positive EV play, if you will, according to my projections and whatnot of just over 5. So I certainly expect him to get 5 strikeouts against the Orioles. Whether he gets the win or not, I don't really care.
Yeah. Obviously, personally, I would be a touch nervous. As I said, I like the over in that game. With the way these offenses are, you could see both of these guys maybe exit this game, around the 5th inning. So, that's how we see that one. I'm going to do, what do you have for Mackenzie Gore? They're the Washington Nationals. I think he'll go under 5.5
I had him to go.
Ks.
I had him to go over, and I had Smiley on the other side of it to go under.
Okay, well, let's talk about Gore, then you can add in your little bit there about Smiley. He went under versus the Cubs in May with 4 strikeouts, only went 4 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, gave up 4 earned runs. Overall, though, in his 17 full starts, because we're going to remove that last start that was cut short due to a rain delay, he has stayed under in 6 of 17. Those are not sexy stats by any stretch. We try and predict when the guys will succeed or fail. I think this is a time where he'll fail up against a Cubs team that does great against left-handers. Number 1 in the MLB is terms of pitches per plate appearance. They're patient. They're going to make him work. And because they're going to make him work, we know he's not going to pitch long in this game. He'll be at 90 pitches through 5 innings. That's just what the Cubs do to, generally speaking, the left-handed pitching. I don't think he's going over 5.5 Ks. You can get that at minus 115. What do you want to talk about, Smiley, or maybe add something on Gore? Why don't you add in the opposite of Gore? You think he's going over 5.5 Ks?
Yeah, and that was mostly, again, there's a depending on your time period in which you're looking, last 14 days, I guess, is higher than the last 30. 25.6, otherwise 24.1% strikeout rate for the Cubs. And it's been quite a while since they have seen him, right? It's not like what game was it where they just the Cardinals game where both teams just saw both pitchers, 2 starts ago. So it has been a while there, and I have it projected around 6 strikeouts for Mackenzie Gore, where on the other side of things, you get consistent cashes at under the 4.5, although they would have all been on the hook over the last month. It's just a steady stream of 4 strikeouts for Smiley. And that's how a lot of these have been seeming to go. They are pretty dialed in on these, where you're either winning or losing by the hook a vast majority of the time. It's unreal. I just had five strikeout props in a row where I lost all 5 straight up on the hook. It was over 4.5, and he just got 4. Or like yesterday, I had Dude, I had Brady Singer yesterday over 4.5. He pitched 8 entire innings and got 4.
Oh,
Like,
come on.
yeah.
How the hell did Brady
You know,
Singer go that long against the Rays? Oh, I know why. Because the Rangers are a long shot because the Rays are struggling right now. Let's go. That's brutal. Lost their 8 innings, only get 4 Ks. I wouldn't have thought
to
of
get
that.
4 strikeouts, yeah, it was a little frustrating. But yes.
Where do you,
Speaking of long shots, though.
well, I got another pitching prop. Hold on a second. I got to cut
Oh,
you a couple more. Where do you
no, we'll
have
just skip that. We'll just. No, I'm kidding.
Where do you have Luzardo? This is a tough one for me. I'm going to talk about the numbers. The numbers love over 6.5 Ks. He got 8 Ks versus the Cardinals 2 starts ago. He's gone over in 10 of 19 starts. They're giving you this at good plus money at plus 116. He's gone over in his last 4 starts. The Cardinals striking out 33%. That is astronomically high. The scary part is they're hitting 284. Mentioned why we like the over. 2 good offenses. They're slugging great. Their average is 284. They've got a great weighted runs created.
284 against lefties, right?
Right. Yeah. Against left-handed pitching. Right. The scary part is he just went against these Cardinals 2 starts ago. So I'm not going to bet this one, right? The hitter familiarity to me will win out, and they're really good right now versus left-handers. But
Familiarity
the numbers like
plus
over
the left-handed. Familiarity plus the left-handed numbers, and then my projection does have him under the 6.5. So
okay,
I do like the Luzardo under 6.5, and then it at least makes sense. I took the Cardinals. I don't know if I mentioned that. That was one of my free plays. I'm sure it'll be at the end here as well. At the end of the show when we put up our plays. But yeah, I gave it out as a Twitter and a TikTok and all that. I'm on the Cardinals on the money line. So I know you're on the over. I ended up picking a side, and I did go with the Cardinals there. So this correlates nicely at least. So if I'm rooting for the Cardinals to hit Luzardo, then having the under on Ks also does make sense.
Right. I love that right there. I also want to throw out Dane Dunning over 4.5 Ks going up against this Rays team that's struggling. Brady Singer obviously went 8 innings strong. It's because they're only hitting 217. They're striking out 27.8%. Dane Dunning doesn't have great strikeout numbers by any stretch, but I expect him to pitch deep into this game versus the Rays that are struggling. So perhaps over 4.5 Ks would be a good look. All right, let's talk 4th inning. Let's talk long shots. Let's talk plus money winners. What do you got for us?
I don't know if I've actually bet any. I like a lot of small favorites. I've eyed, however, I'm eyeing the Nationals, possibly, just because of their low strikeout rate, and it's their offense is okay, or it has been at least in recent weeks. I don't know after the All-Star break now here, but again, having that Gore over projection, the Smiley under projection, the way that the odds move, and a low strikeout rate, Nationals just generally tend to have a lot of value in them. Beyond that, I think that I would expect the Tigers to be a slightly larger favorite than they are going against Jordan Lyles. So it almost freaks me out a little bit that the Royals are so low, so close to even odds. Now, I think that the over is a better play here, but if you're going to take the over, you're expecting runs, and coming off of what they just did to the Rays, there may be a little bit of confidence there to get them a win. But it is certainly scary having Jordan Lyles on the mound.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get to that, whether it was rapid fire at the end or maybe even right now. I don't understand the minus 130 on the Tigers. I mean, you got a Royals bullpen, a 7.71 ERA, second worst in the majors, 5.82 FIP. Hell, the batting average is 282 out of that bullpen, and it's coming behind Jordan Lyles. I'm with you. If the Tigers could have a goddamn decent batting average for his right-handed pitching, I would be all over the Tigers today at minus 130. But I can't get there with the way they hit. But, man, it's like they're sucking you in. They're sucking you in. This is a Rays team that knocked off the Rays, So, I don't know. I can't get there on that. You're not getting sucked into that one. What I can get sucked in, though, is the Dodgers. Yeah. The Dodgers, we like both offenses, right? We're on the over. It's the bullpen that you're getting a massive advantage here for the Dodgers. How about their line is 2.35, 2.53, 1.1, and opponent's batting average of 200. Flip side, the Orioles are 4.62, 4.12, 1.46 and .269. It's all better for the Dodgers coming out of the bullpen. So I do expect a lot of runs in this game. It's when the bullpens take over is where the Dodgers are going to get a sizable advantage, and I like them at even money today against the Orioles. And then I also like the Rangers today at plus 105 up against the Rays because they actually do a good job of hitting left-handers. They're in for a tough day, though, up against Shane McClanahan. But the Rays are struggling, and Dane Dunning has got some great outings on his card this year. So I think this is a spot here for the Rangers. You've seen Aroldis Chapman now get his first save, throwing over 100 miles. That bullpen just got that much better, did the Rangers, in adding Aroldis Chapman. So I like the Rangers, plus 105, and the Dodgers at even money today, are my two dogs of the day. All right, fifth inning, keep swinging. What you got?
Unfortunately, nothing. But I could probably do another pitching prop in place of one there.
I mean, as long as it's an under, right? Because that makes sense. Keep swinging, keep trying to hit the damn ball. What you
got? All right. You go ahead, and then I'll find somebody to go under.
All right, what about Lane Thomas? He's 4 for 9 up against Drew Smyly, a double, a home run, and 0 Ks. Boy, I love backing guys that don't strike out against today's starter. I'm going to talk about that Cubs bullpen a little bit later. But I also like Mike Moustakas today up against Severino, where he's 3 for 7, and he's coming off of a 5-game hitting streak. So Lane Thomas of the Nationals, Mike Moustakas there of the Angels are the two guys today I'd look to back.
This is a little bit ugly. I only have one projected under. There's not a lot of because there's not a lot of games going on, so there's not a ton of pitchers. The only other projected under I have is a whopping minus 150 on Logan Gilbert, under 7.5. That's against the Twins, and Twins have a really high strikeout rate, so it's ugly. But in terms of numbers, that's the only other projection I've got for an under.
All right, well, let's see what you got for a steal. I'll give out my NRFI of the day. What do you want to give out?
Let me see, what did I write down here? It is the Giants and the Reds under 10, and I saw it going to 9.5, which is why I put it as the steal, just because it was like, I think the last of the number that I could find. I don't know if it's still available. I'm hoping it's not,
yes, you can.
Actually.
You can get it. Minus 120.
Okay.
It'll soon release on draft.
Yep. That's what I paid. So I don't expect it to end at 10. I mean, it's on its way to 9.5. This was kind of an interesting case of Giants not great offense against Reds not great bullpen, right? So Reds can hit, but the Giants bullpen was better. And then I think the Reds bullpen wasn't great, but the Giants can't hit. So it was, like opposites on each end of the spectrum there. So to expect 11 runs though from that, it just doesn't scream that to me. And to see the number going to 9.5 is why I ended up taking it.
Yeah, I like that so much. I actually used that in the 8th inning and double play as one of my legs. Two struggling offenses. The Giants can't hit left-handers. Williamson today, they'll be facing him. And the Reds are only hitting 210. Their perception that, they're still on fire and they're, kicking ass. They're not kicking ass. They're not doing it right now. So they're hitting 210 right now versus right-handers, and they're striking out at 27.8%. That offense has cooled off dramatically. So I like your under right there. And then two good bullpens, right? We've talked about the Giants bullpen. The Reds bullpen is a better than league average. So I like it. For my NRFI of the day, though, I'm going to Pittsburgh. I'm doing Guardians Pirates as my NRFI of the day. A plus money NRFI. Very rarely do you get these suckers at plus money. That's what we get today. MLB debut for Quinn. I just like the unfamiliarity. Nobody's seen this guy. Let me just be cool for one inning. And then we're getting a bullpen arm out of the Guardians. I already like that bullpen a lot, so I don't really care who the hell they decide to open this game. I'll be completely fine with it. Pirates NRFI 75% of the time. That's 24th worst in the majors. Guardians are 16th worst in the major. They NRFI 71% of the time. So a plus money NRFI. Guardians Pirates. Let's have it. 7th inning coming to a stretch. We like to give you guys our best bet of the day. Squirrel, best bet. What you got?
My absolute best bet that I'm in love with is going to be the LA Angels today against Severino. The numbers are terrible. The offensive numbers, I mean, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. The Yankees against the LA Angels, whether it's batting averages, runs brought in. I just think it's pretty wrong there too. And I got it at a minus 115. So I guess it could be a steal. It's minus 130 now or minus 125. So I'm beating the closing line. I think it's fantastic numbers favoring the Angels. It's my best projection of the day. That absolutely is, I think, the one game I would bet if I could only make one bet. So.
Okay. Love to see that right there. For my best bet of the day, I'm doing Nationals Cubs over 8. Nationals Cubs over 8. What's that current line? Let's see. Current line is 8.5. Sweet. So, and I'm on over 8. And line's now 8.5, and it's minus 120 to the over. So this is going to come 9 real soon, folks. So hop on at 8.5. You get Mackenzie Gore, Drew Smiley. We kind of talked about both of these guys and shut up and pitch, but obviously, both of them have seen the opponent. Gore had a little bit more of a rougher outing. Both of these offenses are good versus left-handers. How many times have we sat here and said, oh, Nationals are against the left-handers? Yeah, great numbers. Let's go ahead and back the Nationals. I was going to be on maybe their F5 team total. I'm just going to take the full game over because the Cubs excel better versus left-handers, and I like that as well. And they both don't strike out. So they both got good batting averages, good weighted runs created, and both don't strike out. Love to see that right there. Bullpen-wise, it's really stinking bad coming out of these bullpens. How about ERA? They're ranked 25th and 22nd. FIP, they're ranked 29th and 25th. Home runs per 9, they're ranked 27th and 24th. And opponent's batting average is 15th and 24. Some of those good numbers from the batting perspective here. 290 batting average. Weighted runs created is 120, 114. Mentioned they don't strike out at 22.5 and 21.4%. And they both slug really good right now at 452 and 521. Love everything about the way these offenses are rolling. Love all the hitter familiarity against today's starters. And both bullpens absolutely struggling. It's over 8. Best bet of the day. Easy, easy. Jump on that one. 8th inning, we like to give you our favorite parlay of the day. We call it double play. What's going to be your favorite parlay today, Squirrel?
Well, if my favorite play was the Angels, I'm going to stick to that. And you'll have to pay a little bit more now because, I took it probably 6 or 7 a.m. Minus 115. It's now minus 130. But even doing so, if you couple that with those terrible teams of the Tigers and the Royals and you're expecting 10 runs like I am, you can go over 9.5 and pair it with the Angels for a pretty massive plus 254.
254. Okay, cool. I can't give you the price for mine because the sportsbooks don't want to tell me what the Red Sox are going to be priced at today, but the gent in the comment section just threw my double play in there. I love your under 10 there in the Giants red, so that's one leg of the parlay. And then Red Sox money line. This is still the hottest offense in the major leagues. Blackburn's pretty good in his own right, but we know we're going to go up against the Athletics. We don't know what the Red Sox are doing. Rumored to be Nick Pivetta. He's been coming out of the bullpen and looking pretty good. I would be shocked if they throw Pivetta as a starter. They're going to have him come behind some opener. Look, it's been a winning strategy of have Pivetta, that bullpen, not go through the top of the lineup. I expect them to deploy that strategy today. So give me an opener, then give me Nick Pivetta. I've got the better bullpen in the Red Sox. I want their money line with your under 10 and Giants Reds. I don't know what the price is, but whatever it comes. Because you're over under, call it minus 120. It'll be plus. It'll be good plus money whenever it does come out.
You know what I found a little bit ago was someone was offering. They must have wanted the over. They wanted the over in that Reds game, and they were offering it to me. Then I took minus 108 for the under 10. So just another example of bet openly doing a hell of a lot better than the market where you're getting 120 or 125. I was able to get 108, so I was happy with that.
Love that right there. I'll throw these bets up on the screen. I'll talk about Lane Thomas here just for a second from a price perspective. Just to let you know, I did get that one over at Barstool's. Everybody else is around even money. Barstool's is sleeping behind the wheel at plus 132. Obviously, I like it from a stats perspective as well, and then you're giving it to me at plus 132. Yeah, sign me up. All right, let's jump in here and do a little rapid fire. Let's talk about every single game from money line, run line, over-under perspective. Then we'll catch your comments there where you're asking us a couple of questions, so we'll do that. Dodgers and Orioles, over-under of 9.5. Even money for the Dodgers. Orioles minus 120. I talked about this game extensively. I like the over. I like Dodgers as a dog today. What do you like? Just to reiterate.
Oh, yeah. I sent you mine earlier this morning. We'll have to get them on there this week. Start getting back to getting mine on the screen at the end of these. I've got the Cardinals money line. In terms of confidence, I guess these would be. Then that Giants and Cincinnati under 10. It's just, I think, too high for what it is. I expect to beat that closing line. Should be 9.5 at least, in a little while. Then Angels is my most confident play of the day there on the money line. I just think going against Severino, going against the poor offensive numbers and still not having Judge back, I think contributes a lot to that Yankees team just not really being the same.
I look forward to talking about that game in rapid fire. I definitely look forward to getting
Cool.
to that game. What about Guardians Pirates over under of 9.5? Guardians minus 120. Pirates at even money. I stayed away from this game. Obviously, MLB debut. Don't know what the hell you're going to get from this kid. I like the Guardians bullpen. No offense is really better than the other one. I don't know. Just tough game. Really tough.
Yeah, it is a tough game. Boy. I don't know how long. This is really
I'll
kind
say
of maybe
the
off
under. I'm
topic.
going to
How
get off
long
the under
before?
now, by the way. How long what?
How long before O'Neal Cruz comes back? Or I don't know if this is anything that you follow injuries and such, but I do think that they would really largely benefit from having O'Neal Cruz back in this lineup. So I remember, I think he got injured sliding into like home plate, and it was his leg or knee or ankle or something like that. But that De La Cruz guy really reminds me of O'Neal Cruz as well.
Yeah.
Very, very like similar in style and play. And I don't know if you saw that he broke his record by 0.1 mile an hour throwing from like the shortstop position over to first.
Oh wow! No, I didn't see that.
I don't know if you saw that. It was like some like 97.8 mile an hour throw to first base.
Shit. Real deals right there. Giants and Reds over under of 10. Giants minus 145. Reds plus 125. I want no part of the Reds right now. I want the under 10 as you gave out, and it's on your card. Hell, it'll probably make my card here in a little bit. I like it a lot. I will take the Giants on the money line as well.
I don't want any money lines. I'm starting to struggle to find some under 10s. DraftKings and Caesars have them, but yeah, your points BetMGM is down to 9.5, and even your your kind of market maker books like Pinnacle, if you will, are down to 9.5 too. So I think that's great. If you can still get a under 10, you'll beat the closer there.
Marlins and Cardinals over under of 8.5. We got a minus 110 up against a minus 110. That's what it feels like when you do the research. Even offenses,
yeah, it absolutely does.
I think it's take the over, and who gives a shit who wins this game. You're confident enough though to back the Cardinals.
Yeah, I am. And then on the other side of that too, to the Luzardo under 6.5, I think is a really good projection as well with that familiarity. So.
Rays and Rangers over under of 9. Rays minus 125. Rangers plus 105. I think they're my dog of the day. The Rangers at plus 105 to go along with the Dodgers at even money. I want the Rangers, and I want the under 9 because McClanahan, even though the Rangers are decent or more than decent against left-handers, not quite like bet-worthy good, but McClanahan's tough. Boy, is he tough. I'm taking under 9, and I'm going to think that Dunning can continue to silence this Rays offense.
Yeah. Let's see. No real edge on Dunning, but for sure, one of the largest projections of the day is McClanahan over the 5.5 strikeouts.
What was their K number? Let me re-look up the Rangers here for a second. 18.4%. Whoa, they are not striking out. That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
If they were hitting I already like him as a dog, but if they were a tick better, I may pull the trigger on them at plus 105. I may have to do that. Card is going to be tweeted here in a little bit, guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Nationals and Cubs over under of 8.5. Nationals plus 125. Cubs minus 145. I want the over. I bet the over. And I also want the Nationals at plus 125.
Yeah, I think the Nationals is what I would back. Looks like the price is going up for the Nationals. So if you haven't bet it yet, you may be able to wait there and get better.
Okay.
I'm seeing some as high as 133.
Cool. I like it. Thank you. Tigers and Royals over under of 9.5. Tigers minus 130. Royals plus 110. I'm getting sucked into this minus 130 price, and it's a lean.
I'm not. I'm very much. I like doing the contrarian things. I like the against the grain, and it looks weird to me. It looks really freaking weird. That I would certainly think that the Tigers would be a lot more than they are, especially given who the starting pitcher is and all that. If I had to bet it, I would just place my money on the Royals, not watch the game, and collect the money after. I think something's weird about it.
Collect the money after. I love the confidence. And the pitcher has got one win all season long. You're just going to sit back and collect your money. You're going to be in for a sweat, but you're not going to watch. So, wow. I was just looking at his card. It's just L, 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 L. How the hell then he beats the Rays? And then he beats the Rays. That's his win against the Rays. Classic baseball right there. Can't make that shit up. Let's get back into the books here. I'm taking the Tigers minus 130. Sure, sign me up. At least I'm getting way the better bullpen.
Oh, and the over, though. The over, though, for sure. That over 9.5. I think there'll be runs, a lot of hits and runs in that one. Given the pitching. Yeah, but...
we do get a price now on the Red Sox. It's only minus 155. I just added that. Athletics are plus 135, over under of 8.5, but the Red Sox do not have a starter listed. So I'm still taking Red Sox money line minus 155. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, you're looking on FanDuel?
We're using DraftKings for rapid fire. So is there a starter on FanDuel for the Red Sox?
No, they have minus 154. Starter, I see undecided. Let me check the MLB.
Okay. I'm going to be so surprised if Nick Pivetta starts this game. I'm telling you. I'd be pretty shocked.
MLB pitchers. Thought I had, I have this. TBD on here also. So, I don't know how we're getting a price and no pitcher, but sure.
I think you're getting a price because we're pretty confident we're getting Nick Pivetta for a chunk of amount of innings. It's just, does he start it or does he come in inning 2? So
got it.
To be that. Yankees and Angels with an over-under of 9. Yankees plus 105. Angels minus 125. I want to bet this over so bad, and I was waiting to talk about this game. Listen to these numbers from the Angels bullpen. How about an ERA of 10.64? Obviously dead last in the NBA. How about an FIP of 9.1? Obviously dead
in
last
the MLB.
In the MLB. 3.42 opponent's batting average, obviously dead worse in the MLB. And a 2.39 whip is obviously dead last in the MLB. If the Yankees could hit a goddamn baseball, I would be all over this over. But they suck. They can't even go to Colorado and hit a baseball. They're going to hit one in L.A. God, I would be all over this over if they were a touch better, but I just can't trust the Yankees. The Angels have a great offense. They're hitting 267. Severino's been absolutely shitty this MLB season. So I want the Angels, but there's no confidence in me taking the Angels with that bullpen. I can't get any amount of money on the Angels with that bullpen. It's all ugly. I want to be on the over. I'm on over 9 for rapid fire. For a money line, I will be on... Shit, I don't know. That Angels bullpen, I don't know. And Griffin Canning's not great in his own stretch. Remember, we cashed under his outs prop in his last start, under 17.5 outs just before the All-Star break. Now that was a scenario in which I think we easily took advantage of, but still, he got rocked by the Dodgers. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all bad. I'm just taking over 9.
It's all bad. I love the Angels, though, mostly in the perspective of the offensive discrepancies between the team.
By the way, if you're wondering about that Yankees bullpen, 3rd worst ERA, 4th worst FIP, 7th worst opponent's batting average, and 5th worst WHIP. Their bullpen ain't a whole hell of a lot better these days.
Can't pitch and can't hit. Versus
there'll be people
can't
grabbing
pitch
that Yankees
and hits
money line
very well.
There'll be people grabbing Yankees money line today. Let me tell you, I can't get there. Over 9. Twins and Mariners, here's one. Over under of 7.5 for Twins and Mariners. Plus 115 for the Twins. Minus 135 for the Mariners. I will take Twins, certainly at plus 115. Their offense grades out a whole hell of a lot better. The Mariners bullpen grades out better, but I know I like the Twins' arms. Obviously, I love their closer. So if I can get a good start from Gray up against the Mariners bats that struggle, I'm taking the Twins at plus 115 and over. I'm taking under 7.5. I'll take the under. That's a tough one. I'll take the under,
though. It is a tough one. I see some where you can pay minus 120 or 125 for over 7, and I would feel more comfortable about doing that.
Oh, there's some 7s out there? Yeah, okay. I agree with that.
Yeah, there's some 7s, but you're going to pay minus 120 or minus 125, but I like that. The over 7. I would pay the juice for over 7.
Okay, let's circle back. Let's grab these questions that came in and see what other stuff we got going on here. We've got the infamous SeaWorld parlay. Definitely never heard of that. I like it. The Marlins. Well, Squirrel obviously doesn't like the Marlins getting the win. I mean, that's a coin flip game, man. It's minus 110 against minus 110. You're getting no advantages.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's a hitting bullpen. There's a reason it's minus 110 against minus 110. So I can't do your coin flip. Mariners, yeah, I'd rather have the plus money Twins. I'd rather have the better offense. And if I can get into the good arms of the Twins bullpen, I know they'll shut down the Mariners team that struggles. And then the Rays, yeah, obviously I like the Rangers. So very rarely do I say I don't like that parlay, but yeah, I don't like that parlay at all. You obviously don't like the Marlins piece. What about those other two legs? Mariners, Rays. I can't remember what you said in rapid fire.
Sorry, I was reading the comments about the WNBA and the truck stop.
Yeah, right.
That's some funny stuff, man.
Yeah, and then DeGent obviously gave away my parlay. He was on it. That's a good one. I like that as well. And then the Reds bats are still an all-star break. Yeah, no, they're struggling. They're struggling. All right, fellas, that's how we're doing. A little small MLB slate. Obviously, come on back tomorrow. Normal 15 games. Everybody's in action on tomorrow. Do look for me on Twitter. I think I'm going to add a couple plays to it, or maybe just hang tight. We'll see and find out. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for kicking off a week with us here. Good luck with your bets. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow.
See ya.